Multiple White House insiders spoke to Politico this week following, of course, Tuesday's humiliating defeats for the Republican Party. And based on what they told Politico, it seems like a lot of these White House insiders might have had a real, wait a minute, the emperor has no clothes moment after Tuesday's elections. Because the reports suggest that these insiders, the advisors, the officials, whoever it is, in Trump's own White House, are preparing to start turning against him after they realized he's not as all-powerful or as influential as they've been pretending since he retook the White House. Let me read you a couple of quotes from these people who spoke to Politico. One of them said, quote, "People don't think he's lived up to his promises. You won on lowering costs, putting more money back into people's pockets, and people don't feel that right now." Another one said, "The president hasn't talked about the cost of living in months. People are still hurting financially, and they want to know the White House is paying attention and trying to fix the problem as quickly as possible." Another said, "Too much focus on foreign policy while people are hurting at home delivered exactly the results you'd expect." You know what's nice is to actually hear one of these insiders, who I'm assuming is a Republican, admit that, yeah, this is what we would expect in an election when you have a guy in the White House who's not paying attention to it, throwing lavish Great Gatsby parties at his $1 million per member resort in Florida while people run out of SNAP benefits. It's the first time I've seen a Republican say, like, yeah, these results were predictable. Everybody else is acting totally shocked. Who could have seen this coming besides everybody? But these are cracks. Since Donald Trump came back into office on January 20th, 2025, we have seen nothing but everybody in the administration telling him, "Yes, sir, you're the best, sir. We love you, sir. Everything you do is great, sir." But now, suddenly, following Tuesday, the people inside the White House are like, yeah, this guy's screwing up big time. He's not addressing concerns. He doesn't know how to address the concerns. In fact, the things he's doing are causing those concerns to begin with. Right? I mean, we wouldn't be dealing with the inflation right now. We wouldn't be dealing with the mass layoffs if he didn't institute his tariff policy. None of that would be happening. It would just be dealing with the Gestapo running around our city streets, but we would have lower prices. So all these folks were like, he's got to start working on lowering prices. He can't do that. He won't do that. Because if he does do it, the only way to do it is either one, put price controls on corporations, which you know damn well they're not going to do that, or two, undo all of his tariffs, which is his favorite thing in the world. And if he undoes it, it's an admission he made a giant mistake. So you mean to tell me you guys think you can convince Donald Trump to admit he made the biggest mistake in modern history? Ain't happening. So best of luck with that. And what we will see as time drags on is more and more and more of these reports of White House insiders saying, listen, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy's ignoring the problems of the voters. And then, of course, those talking points will be used in next year's midterms to prove that Trump is so out of touch he doesn't even care anymore. So thank you for that, by the way, White House insiders. But Tuesday was a wake-up call. But it's a wake-up call that these idiots in this administration should have received a long time ago. This was not the first butt-kicking that Republicans suffered this year at the polls. Democrats overperformed in special elections, even in deep red area, all year long. Like, this isn't new. This happened the first time Trump was in office, too. The only difference is, and I'll tell you this because I think this is important. During Trump's first term in office, what was a big focus? Trump's tweets. That's what the media talked about all the time. Segments every single day about the mean things Trump was saying on Twitter. And that became the narrative. And then, the Republican talking point was, I'd rather have a guy with mean tweets than a guy that blah, blah, blah. We can deal with mean tweets. So that was a big talking point. This time around, nobody's really talking about that. I mean, occasionally, yeah, when he says something totally insane, but now the focus is strictly on the policy. He was able to distract us from his horrible policies in the first term with the mean tweets. It's not working this time. And now that people are laser focused on his policy the second time around, they realize what a failure he totally is. And I'm not just talking about the American public. Apparently, the people working around him in the White House are starting to realize that too. Hey folks, I don't know if you have noticed, but we are like this close to 1 million subscribers. We do not have much time left on this year. We're already entering the holiday seasons. I know everybody's busy. Everything in politics is crazy. But I want everybody to refocus your efforts right now. We have got to get to that 1 million subscriber mark before the end of this year. So if you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Spread the word, share the videos, get as many people as possible as you can. Not just because we want to hit 1 million subscribers, which we definitely do, but most importantly, politics, real voices talking about politics, is becoming increasingly rare. We are watching as corporate media outlet after corporate media outlet bows down to Donald Trump, universities bowing down, lawyers bowing down, giving in to his insane demands even when they are in the right. We will never do that. We are not going to stop. We are going to continue bringing the hard-hitting and sometimes fun news of the day. We're not afraid of anyone. We're not afraid to tackle any issue. So again, you want to keep this going. You want good, unfiltered news that you can easily digest and move on with your day. Subscribe to Fair and Balanced and spread the word. Get more people on board, and let's hit that 1 million subscriber mark before the end of this year.